everybody! Today I'm here to react to the second episode of Daisy Jones and the Six. I loved the first episode. Like, I really feel like I haven't felt that in love with like a first episode since The Last of Us, which wasn't that long ago to be fair, but you know, it's just really nice when like there's something that you're so excited about, because Daisy Jones and The Last of Us are probably tied for like the top shows I was anticipating this year, and it's just so amazing that they've both so far been so great, and that specifically the first episodes, which are obviously so important because it's the introduction, it sets the tone, it kind of gives you a good feel, I think, maybe not a full feel, but a good feel of if this is going to be a faithful adaptation of either a video game or a book, whatever it may be. And I feel like just having a really strong first episode like that sets you off on such a great foot with us watching it, the fans of the book, but also then like people who might not know what the book is and are just checking it out on their own. And I think it's really great and really exciting, and I'm excited to see what is going to happen. And of course we still have to see the Six and Daisy meet, which is going to be really fun, and everything else that happens up until that point for the first couple episodes. So yeah, I'm excited to check it out. So yeah, let's get started. I love the like, how did they, it's so fun that like they made it seem old-fashioned, like it really is the Merv Griffin show. Like it makes you feel like it's a documentary, right? Because if you were watching a documentary, they would take scenes and clips from like older TV shows and interviews and stuff like that and mix them all in. It just makes it feel so much more realistic. I love it. You can just tell the care that went into this. The way they're just like, yeah, can you get us all these things? I'd be like, sure, you want Santa Claus too while we're at it? Yeah, I was gonna be like, he's gonna be like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you don't just show up and demand things. Like, you've got to put in the work. I also don't think he's a great, like, I wouldn't want him as a manager, right? Especially after the way he treated Karen. Like, no thank you. He totally like told them to like change their life, like move to Los Angeles from Pittsburgh, and then truly never gave them a thought again. Now he's like, oh, if I'm refreshing my memory, I do think you were kind of good, but to be fair, I have not thought of you that much. He's like, I said no more things. What is it? Billy's like, I got it. Give it to me. You're floundering. She rolls her eyes. She's like, okay, sir, calm down. I like that she talked to Cammy. She was like, Camilla, if you say it's good, then I'll believe it. Like, that's so cute. I really hope they develop like their friendship more, because I think it's really important, especially in terms of like being the only two girls until Daisy gets there that are kind of in this band, you know? Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't think that means that it's okay for you to be here. She's like, I used the key that you hid. It's fine. Like, I still think that's not. You gotta let him know. Put a note on the door. Oh, finally. I mean, I know it's not an easy decision, but that home life sucked. Well, she's like, you can stay with me. You just have to promise to never cook again. How did they rent this house? I thought they didn't really have money to rent it, but it's a nice house, and like it has enough room for all of them kind of to stay there. I know they're sharing rooms and stuff, but I mean, that's a nice house. Ugh, her face. I'm sorry, ma'am. I saw the last place you were living at. This may not be better, but it's not worse. Maybe she was hoping it would be better, but even all these years later, she's like, yeah, not impressed. That is funny. That's Karen. I love her. But she's got Camilla, which is awesome. I think that's like the saving grace of this all. Is it because this is where the old lady died? Because I kind of want to know that before I slept in the bed that she probably died in. Yeah. And especially like Karen's there now. I feel like they're not doing the story, obviously, where one of them gets shipped off to the war and dies, and then they have to get someone new, which I kind of get why they're not doing that, because it's like a lot of extra stuff to put in, but I still think it's like they cut out an entire character from the band, which is okay. You do you. No. Chucky was a lot of things, right? Was not one of them. Like, you're here, you're doing the thing. It might be hard, but I mean, give it a year before you give up entirely. Yes, thank you, Camilla. Also, I love how they're like slowly hinting at Billy's alcohol issues. Like, no one's really pointing it out, but it's just like he's always drinking. I mean, pocket toast is delicious. Like, let's be real. Good point. It's also not that great of a name, the Dunn brothers. Like, it just doesn't roll off the tongue. They're all like, we're not hearing this again. No, no. That is so cool that like he said it, but Karen's the one that's like, what about the six? And also Camilla is part of the band. Like she's helping call and like track down people and producers. Daisy just walked by. That's so funny. It's like misconnections, right? I always love that kind of stuff where it's like you don't even know how important someone's going to be in your life and you didn't even see them, but they're always kind of been there. Hi, Daisy. Ugh, her outfits are so cute. I know I always say it, but I can't get over them. Like, I want every single one. And, like, the braids, the pony, so cute. Oh, there's Teddy. That is so funny that, like, Billy has been, like, begging to see Teddy. And Daisy, like, probably knows who he is, but doesn't even, like, it's not on her mind. And, like, he's just there for her. That's funny. Oh, their voices sound so nice together, right? I love how supportive of friends they are too. Like there's no like jealousy and like, you know, like, oh, I need the spotlight or something like that. Like they really just want to support each other and see each other be the best versions of what they want themselves to be. Billy would be like pooping himself right now trying to get this moment and Daisy's like, "Hey, how are you?" Like it's not even a big thing to her. He's like, "Oh, actually her face, did you see? She was like, "Yikes." Wrong thing to say. I mean, dude, like, it's just so funny. Billy wants it so bad, and there's Daisy getting the chance of being like, no, I don't want it. And it's not because, like, she doesn't want to be famous, but I think that's also what Daisy has to learn. And you kind of get it a little more in the books, I feel like, so far at this point. But of, like, it's okay to be like, I'm not 100% there. Like, I need some help. And, like, I think she thinks being, like, shaped as being like, I'm gonna mold you into this version of like what I expect, which is fair because that happened to so many singers and actors and stuff, especially during that time, like made them an image of what they want them to be. But I feel like she's not understanding that like that when they say like polish, they just mean like make it so like they show you what songs are like the good ones, right? Or like, you know, like in the book, like she had a like thing of like she had all these kind of ideas of songs but not like an actual song and she had to realize that like oh I've got to put it together and make it like really great. Oh, she's trying so hard to help him and he's just being a grumpy baby. More alcohol. Yeah, she's like, ah, no thank you, no, 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 which means she is probably a little bit aware of it. I love that it's like there's like some kind of it's not muse because I feel like that's what we're deconstructing is the muse, but it's like the sounding board almost of who Camilla is in terms of Billy. Like, yeah, he writes these songs about them and their love interest and their love life and stuff, but she's always involved in it, you know, and she's pushing him to be the best version of himself and not letting him wallow in self pity. And there's something like it gives her more autonomy in that, I think, than like what Daisy had before, where people were just like, oh, I wrote a song about you, and then like not caring about her thoughts or feelings on it. Wow. See? Billy did know best. And by Billy, I mean Camilla. Why are they so sweaty? Like, I get that you work hard out there, but like, the boys literally look like they just went in a swimming pool. Like, what is happening? He's like, da, 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 da. Oh, wow. I want to know, like, the timeline of, like, how long this took. That's so exciting! Oh my gosh. Teddy is like, please stay away. And I respect it because they are very, very high energy right now. That's how it goes, though, right? It's like you meet that one person and then it's just lightning from there. Surprise! I mean, it is like there's some kind of romanticism about it, right? But then it's like when you deconstruct it, you're like, that fairy tale life can't sustain itself forever, right? There's gonna be down moments. Yep. That is that's the downside, right, of that time. There was no seeing how the photo came out at it until way after. Gosh, I feel like they cast Eddie so well because every time he says something, I'm just like, the man's pissed. Like, he's in love with her, and like, seeing it like played out and seeing the longing looks in the stares, it breaks your heart. Even though I don't really like Eddie, but it breaks your heart. Everyone is just like, well, don't smile. You know what you did. Poor Camilla. Oh gosh, it breaks my heart for her. And they're all covering for him, and she knows something's up. Like, it just, I can't even imagine how it feels. You're alone, you're so far from everyone because it's not like you could just pick up a phone or like go like, you can only get a hold of them when they decide to pick up the phone, right? And it's like she knows they're not telling the truth. She knows something's off. She's there alone and pregnant, and it's just like it's got to be that pit in the bottom of your stomach, like something is wrong. And I thought these people were all my friend, and yet they're protecting Billy over me. Gosh, I mean, it's a betrayal on so many levels because it's like she thought they were her family too, and yet they were protecting him. Oh, gosh. Yeah, honestly. What did you do, bro? Like, they're not cleaning this, but you're the one who did it. He's not doing that. Wow, that's how far gone he is, though. Like, he doesn't even care. Right in front of her. Yeah. Like, did you even talk to her? I forgot about that ultimatum she made. I mean, she's so badass just to be like, do what you want, and then, like, giving him a deadline. Like, ugh, it's so good. It's just, ugh, gosh. And it's just like seeing someone you love like that is just, wow. I always thought she was so strong, so brave. I know people probably aren't gonna agree with that. Like, why didn't she just leave him if, like, she felt like that? But it's like, I think in her own way, she was saying that of, like, shape up or ship out, you know? Like, you have until this, I'm giving you a deadline. If you can't meet it, I don't want to see you again. That's kind of the vibe I was getting, and like she's hoping that like he'll show up and do this. And I feel like she's young too, and she's pregnant and like doesn't know what to do, and I think she's just trying her best. But I always thought that was so brave. Oh. It's like, dad's here, you're in trouble. What do you think he's doing here, Dumbo? Deadline's up, right? I know he can't, and he also shouldn't. This shouldn't be how he looks the first time he's seen his daughter, but I mean, yeah. Yikes. He's like running. He's like, okay. That made him move. Nothing else has tonight, but that has. hmm I mean, in a way, it's like, yeah, this shouldn't be the first time he sees his daughter, right? Like, I get being nervous, but like, he's like strung out as anything, and he needs to get it together before he can show up for her. But I feel like that's going to be a moment that always haunts him, is that he wasn't there for like the first however many weeks or months of his daughter's life. Poor Camilla. I mean, now she's got to do this all on her own. I know she's got like the band and stuff, but it's like there's a difference between like when your partner isn't there. Dun dun dun. That's the thing. Yeah, I do remember that surprised me so much when I first read the book, of like how they were kind of already not like established, but yeah, established, and like they had an album, they had been on tour. Like, it wasn't like these like up and comers that were like, oh, now we're gonna stick you with this girl and then you'll become famous. Like, obviously they become like rock star level famous from that, but like they were already out there doing things, having their tour, and like he had already had kind of his breakdown. And I think it's realistic because it's like not like you have that breakdown and then everything's better. And that's what Billy struggles with for a while, and that's kind of why like he fights with Daisy so much about the song that they're gonna write originally, is Billy wants to believe that like, oh, it's done, it's over, and now like it's all going to be good. And Daisy kind of points out of like, well, actually, like there's a lot of guilt with that, and I feel like there's a lot of fear that you don't want to bring up of that happening again. And then unfortunately we see where that goes. So yeah, I really love the episode. I think they're just so great, honestly. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like they just capture the comparisons, I feel like, between where Daisy is in her life and where the six, but specifically Billy, is on their journey and everything. And the contrast and comparison between that is so interesting, and knowing that they're going to collide soon is really interesting too, seeing it of how like up and down both of their journeys are and how they're kind of on different levels right now, but then they're going to come together soon. I think is really cool. So yeah, if you have seen this episode, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!